I recently asked what some of your biggest sourdough struggles are, and one that I kept getting consistently is this one. How do I figure out the timing of when I feed my sourdough starter to when it's actually ready to use? So let's talk about sourdough feeding ratios. So what the ratio is sourdough starter to flour to water. For instance, you might hear somebody say, I feed my starter a 1:1:1 ratio. If I had 10 grams of sourdough starter, I would feed my starter 10 grams of flour and 10 grams of water. This typically is going to take 4 to 6 hours for it to peak or be ready to use. But here's where it gets really helpful. So let's say you don't need your starter in 4 to 6 hours. You need it in more like 12 hours. Or let's say you need a lot more sourdough starter than a 1:1:1 ratio can give you. That's where you can start bumping up the amount of flour and water. If I need it in 12 hours, I could do a 1:5:5 ratio. So if I had 10 grams of sourdough starter, I would feed my starter 50 grams of flour and 50 grams of water. The timing can vary depending on the type of flour that you're using, the temperature of your house, how active your starter is. So I recommend running an experiment at your house with a 1:1:1 ratio, and now you have a baseline. But for general timelines, go ahead and check out my caption below for a whole list. And if you're not already, be sure to hit that follow button for more sourdough tips and tricks.